This is Just Good News, a Pilkerton Realtors broadcast. Hello and welcome to JGN. Good morning.
Hello. I almost didn't see you.
On this episode of JGN, we dive a little bit deeper into the hidden talents of Pilkerton. We're going to shoot over to Rebecca now.
Rebecca! Hey girl, hey! So you are the maker behind the infamous shadow boxes that are appearing everywhere in town.
My husband and I went to Italy and we ran across this small little paper shop. They just had these really intricate ornaments that were 3D. And so that's kind of what gave us the idea to stop doing like 2D. We take the ramen and take the flat image and we decide what needs to sit in the front, what needs to be in the middle, what needs to be in the back. Do the windows need to be completely cut through? How light hits them? What shadow is going to be cast because it's a shadow box? Do they need a background? There's a lot of engineering, if you will, in each box. It's a labor of love. It takes several hours. So this is my pillow that Anna Catherine made me. AC!
Hey!
We're meeting the maker today, and you are the maker behind all of these quilts and pillows and all of these stuffed animals that you've been doing.
Early days of Blue Jay was right after I moved to Nashville, and I was suddenly friends with all of these married couples that were having kids. I found an animal pattern, and I was like, well, that's cute. And so I just started making stuffed animals for all of them, and then it just kind of progressed from there. The most complicated project I've ever had were some infamous ruffle curtains. There's like 18 yards of fabric in them. It's ridiculous. And it took, 6 months. They're so pretty, but I would never make any of them again. Sewing is like, to me, it's a puzzle, but at the end you have something that you can enjoy or that you can use, like napkins or lunch totes or pillows. I've made all of the pillows in our house at this point, I think.
Thank you for sharing Blue Jay Home and Textiles with us.
Well, you're very welcome.
I'm going to attempt a 3D video.
We interrupt this segment with a special message from Betsy Peebles.
See me?
I can see you. Can you see me? Betsy, you are leading the Pilkerton family for our Habitat Build Day on June 4th.
Yep, 24th year, 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. We have the morning shift, so you can have the rest of your day free. Check-in is at 7, and the build will start at 7:30. I would wear something that you don't care if it gets paint on it. Lots of times we're painting. Come to work. It's a construction site. You get to see how a house is physically put together. You are building a home for a family who has a lot invested. It's just a wonderful way to get involved and help people with a home, which is what we all help people buy and sell. So everybody sign up.
Thank you so much for telling us about Habitat.
Thank you, Chelsea. Have a great day.
Whoa, I think Bree is chiming in now, and it looks like she's crafting as we speak.
Hey, how are ya? This is my parents' garage, aka my dad's workshop. When we decided to do the Pilkerton's Got Talent, I was like, we should make some awards. And then I was like, I can make some awards. I had kind of the design laid out. I talked to him about what I wanted it to look like. So then we decided, well, let's just make a little stand to hold behind it and screw that in from the bottom so you can't see the screws or anything. And then we wanted it tilted back just slightly. And my dad's got all the tools to find the right angles. So like with the P on the Pilkerton, the center had to be cut out separately. Otherwise, the wood would just fall apart. We had to drill a hole into the center of the P and then cut from there to cut that hole out. Then you cut the outside out. Trace them on there, cut them out, glue them together, and call it a day.
Thank you, Bree. Bye.
Moving on. Peter Ledet of Peter Ledet Barbecue Emporium. Well, I'm here to tell you folks, it's a thing. I had to call in on Memorial Day to get the full scoop. Over to you, Chelsea.
Hey!
Hi.
Peter!
Look who it is. What's up, Jill?
Thanks.
Meat's looking good.
That one's still finishing, but this one's just on the final minutes of solidifying the crust on it. Started about 9:30, so that's what, 10 hours?
Okay, so do you guys have an official name yet?
Well, no, the one I've been using is just a joke amongst friends, but lately this has just been kind of like a fun thing to do. So yeah, so like the pork and the brisket takes a long time, so that's like a 10-hour deal. So that's once a week. But chicken and chicken thighs are about 2.5 hours, so it's easier to squeeze those in.
In between your pork butts.
Yeah, today's butt day. Typically what I do is I'll tell people what I'm doing, and I'll reach out to a few friends and family and say, hey, I'm doing this. Do you want one? And they say yes or no.
So what is the next level?
Can I share? Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's talks about opening up a restaurant, actually. More of like a shack with a bar. This is my good friend, Tim. He's my business partner.
Damn!
By the end of 2020, to have a standalone restaurant that is more of like a shack. You can get a beer and enjoy brisket, sit out at a picnic table, enjoy whatever you want. And we're just trying to have something that is recommended by word of mouth from people that love Pete's Meats.
Thank you, Josie.
Nice to meet you.
How does that work exactly? Or can you not talk during it?
I don't know.
In other good news, Tiffany Gardner, out of our in-town office, she celebrated her 31st birthday over quarantine, and the in-town office made a little something special for her. Take a look.
Happy birthday! You're the sweetest thing. Thank you.
Matt Johnson, out of our Brentwood office, his daughter Hazel is becoming an Instagram superstar with her sound effects and expressions.
On the first season of Sesame Street, Oscar the Grouch was orange.
In other good Pilkerton news, our resident banker's title processor, Rita Mangrum, whose office is right down from mine, she had a heart procedure this week. Everything went great. She feels a lot better. Word on the street is she made it down to the mailbox without getting out of breath, and she should be back in the office on Monday. So we're really excited to hear the good news, and just make sure you say hey to her when she comes back in. She's a super great lady and super hard worker, and we love our banker's title people.
Yeah, I guess I should have stood in one spot and done a complete.
Concluding our hidden talents, Lindsay Vogelar is taking us behind the scenes to her craft room.
Hi, there's all kinds out there that you could do with like floral stems and whatnot, but I usually use burlap and you stuff it through like a wire wreath frame and you can do different patterns and designs and things. I'll usually do like a real big bow out of wired ribbon, and there's usually a few other just various items that kind of add some texture and dimension. So I'm officially, I think, at the point where I do have one for every single holiday, and they pretty much just like rotate. And I've done a number as like gifts for people and a few that like I've sold.
Lindsay, it was a pleasure speaking with you today.
Always.
Worms communicate by snuggling.
Lynn Smith, out of her in-town office, she received a very heartwarming message in the mail from one of her neighbors. The note stated, "Just spreading some joy in the hood. Enjoy dinner on us."
Seahorses mate for life and are completely faithful to each other, and they travel together by holding on to each other's tails.
And when in quarantine, you probably got a dog. Shannon Barton sure did. Here's her new puppy, Izzy. And unlike Shannon, Candy Grandchamp, out of her in-town office, her puppy was very much planned. Here's her new puppy, Charlie, and her big brother, Wyatt, on Memorial Day. Memorial Day and beyond, here's some of our office footage from the past 2 weeks.
For all your son's skin removal problems, call me. I'm available, but I'm very expensive. If you'd like me to do yours, it'd be $99.99.
This has been a Just Good News Pilkerton Realtors broadcast. We're bringing you the news because it's just that good. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of JGN.
Now, is this just one side, or have you done the other?
I've already done the other side. That was the last 2 weeks.
Are you recording this already?
I sure am.
Oh.
So Rebecca has left the building.
I don't do math.
Hang on.
LOL, I don't run.
That didn't work.
I was going to tell you a joke about a giraffe's neck, but it was too long. I love it. I love the cheese. So
Look at her. Oh my gosh. Yeah, baby. Woo.
This is Rebecca Murphy reporting from the Brentwood office. We've got some good news over here.